Okay, so now I want to turn to a beautiful teaching from the Baal HaTurim, which is about the plague of the locusts. And this caught my eye. I always like to share teachings with you from the Baal HaTurim, and this one especially caught my eye because it says about the plague of the locusts. Moshe stuck his hand out over the land of Egypt, and there were locusts. And they went up and they ate all the grass, the vegetation of the earth. And Moshe lifted up his staff, and the eastern wind brought them down. And then the eastern wind carried the locusts. Excuse me. Chapter 10, verse 14, for those who are following along at home. And the locusts went up over the whole land of Egypt. Vayanach b'chol gevul Mitzrayim. And the locusts rested. The locusts rested in the entire boundary of Egypt. They were very heavy. There were never anything like this, and afterwards there's never anything like it again. So we turn to the Baal HaTurim. The Baal HaTurim says, Vayanach, it says, it has a Masoretic note on it, which says Beis, Bet. The Masoretic note means that Bet B'Masoret. It means that there were two in the tradition. Meaning to say that the word Vayanach appears in the 5 books of Moses, or maybe even in the entire scripture, only one other time. The word Vayanach appears only one other time in the Bible. Where does the word Vayanach appear? I don't know if anybody knows. It states, Vayanach b'chol gevul Mitzrayim, the locusts rested in all the boundary of Egypt. Melamed shenach harbeh Shabbat. This teaches us that it says it in the 10 Commandments, Vayanach bayom hashvi'i, and he rested on the 7th day. This is a reference to from the 10 Commandments that the locusts rested on Shabbat. The locusts rested on the Shabbat. The locusts stopped working on Shabbat. What does this mean? So the Maram Rutenberg says it means that they arrived in Egypt and they stopped doing their plague on Shabbos. They didn't want to work on Shabbos. So why was it just that only the locusts didn't work on Shabbos? So that's a question. So they gave them a 1 day off for Shabbos Kodesh. The Baal HaTurim gives another answer. Says this is a reference to what appears in the Gemara in Tainis, which says that we can make matrin masnin arba b'chol v'lo Shabbos, that we can call for a special fast day for the locusts if there are locusts during the week and blow the shofar, but not on Shabbos. So, but the fundamental question is why? To me, I was thinking a lot about this. What is the significance of the fact that the rabbis are saying that the locusts did not operate on Shabbos? I mean, what are they trying to say to us? The locusts didn't operate on Shabbos. So I was thinking, and I'm hoping to hear in your answers, that I thought of 2 answers to this question. Two answers for this question. Answer number 1 is that it's to tell us that every creature, even as insignificant as a locust, has a purpose. God has created this purpose. And even the locusts, and this goes back to what Rabbi Soloveitchik said at the beginning of our discussion, even the locust has a moment, has a purpose on this earth. They have a task, and they can attain a higher level. Okay, that's hard for us to relate to, but it's a mystical idea, a spiritual idea that even the locust has a purpose, and even the locust is able to achieve this spiritual high. But there's another answer that I was thinking. What's it trying to tell us that the locusts didn't work on Shabbos? It's trying to tell us this powerful idea that the whole purpose of the Exodus was Shabbos. The whole purpose of the Exodus was we were slaves. We introduced this idea to the world of human dignity, of not working on the Shabbos. So that is the whole purpose of it, meaning to say that when we were in Egypt, we had no control over when we worked or how we worked. And so we're being told that the locusts are giving us this lesson. Yeah, you're going to get freedom from us, but the freedom has to be a freedom built around the Shabbos. And so that's the message of the locusts, teaching us this very, very important question, that the only reason why we're being redeemed is to have a spiritual life. Otherwise, we might as well still be slaves in Egypt. Okay, we'll stop here. I see some questions. Happy to address.